everyone, it's Cindy and welcome to my channel. I do hope you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on my videos. I'll be uploading all kinds of stuff, helpful stuff, feel good stuff, vlogs, all kinds of things that you will want to see, so make sure you have subscribed. If you have subscribed but you haven't already, do please click the notification bell as well, and that way YouTube will let you know whenever I upload. So today's video is a replay of Feel Good Friday that was broadcast on my Facebook page, which I'll put up here for you, on Friday the 5th of January 2018, the first one of the new year. So happy new year to you. Whatever time of year you're watching it, I hope you're having a fabulous time. In today's video, I am talking about how to turn your New Year's resolutions into goals that work. And you'll hear all about that in the video, so I won't go into it too much, but the thing I'm talking about is my new worksheet that I've designed to give away absolutely for free. It's 9 pages, there's loads in there, and it will help you get a really good start to the year, or any time that you're trying to plan your goals and you want to be able to actually achieve them. So if this sounds like something you might be interested in, then do please give it a watch, and I'll make sure that the link for this is down in the description box and you can head over there and get it for yourself. So if that sounds like something for you, then just keep watching. Everyone, it's Friday, that must mean it's Feel Good Friday, and today we're talking about how to turn your New Year's resolutions into goals that you can actually achieve. So the reason I'm doing this today is that back on the 15th of December, I did a Feel Good Friday, and it was all about looking ahead to 2018. I'm just referring to my notes from that time, and I talked about sort of 3 areas, which was to acknowledge and celebrate what you'd done in the previous year, to review your progress, and to set goals. And I know that setting goals is often the hardest bit. So this is why I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be diving deeper on how to set those goals from your New Year's resolutions. Now in this session I'm going to call them goals, even though I prefer personally the word intention, and the thing I'm going to be sharing a fantastic tool with you which is also referring to goals, but in my mind I'm saying intentions because the word goals puts me off, but that's just me. So that's why we're talking about how to turn your New Year's resolutions into goals today, because New Year's resolutions historically don't work and have all fizzled out by February. In case I haven't met you yet, my name is Cindy Davis. I am the Feel Good Coach, and I work with mums in business and life coaches to help them build the business that they truly desire, so that they can do what they want with their families, so they can contribute, they can book holidays and have that freedom, and to build a business that is paying them money while they help the people they really want to help. So I attract lots of people who are really about helping others, and that's the kind of people I work with. So let's get into it. My aim today is to follow on from the video I did on the 15th of December. So if you haven't seen that, I will link it in the comments below, so you can see the full thing. Today my aim really is to help you set some goals or intentions that will work for you, and that will it will be easy to weave it into your daily life and to achieve them. It will be much easier than just setting a New Year's resolution. Okay, so I'm going to do that in 3 parts, and in the first part I'm going to talk about how we're going to lead with your heart, and I'll tell you why, tell you all about that in a second. In the second part we'll be talking about engaging your brain, so bringing in the logical side and making sure that we've covered off any logical things that need to be thought about. And in the third part, dealing with what ifs, which is a crucial part that's often missed out in goal setting teachings or methods. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you are watching live, do please say hi in the comments and let me know that you're there, and ask questions as we go along. By all means, ask questions. If you have a friend who should be on this video with you, then tag them in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, do please join in and comment and everything, because I will come back and reply to you. So let's get into part 1, which is all about leading with your heart. And the tool I'm going to be sharing with hello voice right, so the tool I'm going to be sharing with you today is a worksheet that I put together, and I'm going to be giving this away absolutely for free in full, and I'll put a link down below at the end of the video. But it is actually a worksheet, and it is called Design Your Best Year, and it will take you step by step through a goal setting process that will not only help you create goals that will work for you, but also help you incorporate all of that into your life and make sure that they actually happen instead of just sitting in your notebook taunting you at the end of the year when you haven't done anything towards them. So that's what we're going to do in this part of the session. Looking at the workshop, or in fact in the whole session, we'll be going looking through the worksheet, and I will give it away at the end. So just a quick good morning to Sam. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining me. And I can see we've got someone else on who's done a like, but I can't see who that is. So I'm sorry, but thank you for the like, and do feel free to comment below. Okay, so section 1 of the talk and of the worksheet is all about leading with your heart. And the reason we do this is because basically if you've decided to do something and your heart's not in it, then it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're really going to struggle to achieve it, whatever that thing is that you're trying to achieve. Because if your heart's not in it, you're not going to feel that kind of motivation, you're not going to feel like doing it, you're not going to be noticing the things you need to notice in order to be getting there to achieve your goal, because your heart will be kind of holding you back because it doesn't really want you to do it. And this whole process is kind of based on M-braining, which is one of the tools I use. And in that ideology, it basically goes that we have a heart brain, a head brain, and a gut brain, and we need them all to be working together for us to actually live our best lives and do everything we want to do. And so if we're not getting everything that we want and we're not living our best life, then it means that one or other of our brains, they're not talking to the others, they're not on the ball, they're not coming with us on the path to what we want. There's something that's stopping us. So that's why it's so important to lead with your heart. In M-braining, we always lead with the heart. It's because if your heart's not in it, you're going to really struggle. That's one of the reasons anyway. So we start with leading with your heart. And so I'm going to take you through some of the questions in the worksheet now, and just to explain them, and to you can work through them now if you want to, you can join in. But I would advise getting the worksheet and actually going through it in your own time, because you really need to take a bit of time to allow the answers to come. Because it's with the heart, sometimes you might just want to go inside a little bit, have some quiet time, and just allow your heart to speak to you. I know it might sound a bit weird and a bit woo-woo, but honestly, it's a really good way of getting in touch with what you truly, truly desire, as opposed to just doing what you think you need to do. And if you saw the video on the 15th of December, or you've watched the replay, you'll know I talked a little bit about that, about how we need to set our goals based on our desires, how we want to feel. Because everything that we do in life is because we think it's going to make us feel a certain way. And if we set our goals around other stuff, it's not going to have the same impact, and it's not going to be as easy for us to achieve them. And it won't be as satisfying, because what we're really aiming for is to feel good. So I've gone all over the place, I do apologise. So, so leading with the heart. So what you do at the start here, so there's a little bit of blurb in the worksheet that explains why, which I've just said to you. And then to start off, you just sit quietly and just breathe into your heart. Now that sounds a bit weird, breathing into your heart, but it actually works in practice. So when you sit quietly and just take a few breaths, so do it with me now, just take a few breaths, deep breaths, but actually imagine the breaths going into your heart, kind of in the centre of your chest, rather than into your lungs or down into your belly or wherever you normally imagine breathing. So just take a few breaths, breathe into your heart. I hope you're breathing with me, otherwise I will feel very weird. So when you're breathing into your heart that way, you can start to feel the connection with your heart. And when you ask yourself questions, when you're connected with your heart, then the answers you get are very likely to be heart-led answers. And those will be related to your true desires. And when we're aiming for our true desires, then life will flow and things will come to us much more easily, and our goals will unfold in front of us just the way we want them to. So, once we've spent a little bit of time breathing into our hearts, and when you're doing the worksheet, do take as long as you need. After that, you just kind of imagine that you're going forward in time through the year to whatever point works for you. It could be the end of the year, 31st of December 2018. Take yourself forward in time and just imagine how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel next year? Or pick a point maybe in the summer. How do I want to feel in the summer? By the summer, how do I want to feel? By the end of the year, how do I want to feel? Throughout the whole year, how do I want to feel? And then just listen for the answers from your heart, because it's really interesting the kind of answers you get. So the words you'll get will be related to emotions, and it might be secure, happy, joyful, excited, or anything you can think of, anything you can feel. So just get in touch with those feelings. What is it I want to feel in the coming year? Do I want to feel excited? Do I want to feel expanded? Do I want to feel ease, flow, enjoyment, love, contentment? What is it you want to feel? So you can write down as many as you want, and in the worksheet here there's a little box for you to write down as many of these feelings as you want. So when you're doing this with the worksheet, take as long as it takes. Give yourself a good amount of time. So I've recommended about 2 hours to do the full worksheet properly. That might sound like a lot, but you're talking about planning for your whole year. So it's going to take a bit of time. And you can do this in relation to your life or your business or just overall. And I suggest doing it overall, including everything, so life and business. So in your business, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel successful, accomplished? And in your personal life and in your relationships and in your body, how do you want to feel? So that's where you write down all your feelings just there. So let's move. How are we doing for time? Gosh, let's move quicker. So in the next question is just to take all of the feelings that you've written down in that box and to choose your top 3. So literally just go with your first reaction. What are the 3 that you most want to go after? That just helps to get you a bit more clarity about what it is you want to feel next year, because you might have lots of different things you want to feel, but there will be some that are much more important to you than others. So write down the 3 top feelings in that box, and in the next box what you're going to do is answer the question. This is a really powerful question. My business coach asked me this last year and it was very powerful. Who do you want to be this year? Who do you want to be? That's a great question. So what you're going to do is you're going to write it in the box just here. Who do you want to be? And that's a really interesting exercise because it's not a question we get asked very often. Then the next question is, how do you want your life to look? And that's kind of more about the practical things like, where do you want to be living? How do you want your house to be? Do you want your bedroom redecorated? How do you want your life to look? Do you want to be traveling more? What is it you want? How do you want your life to look? And these questions might sound similar, but they're coming at things at different angles but to help you to get out all those little ideas and things that you might not have thought about before, and all the little nooks of crannies of your mind, and to help you get that down on paper. What experiences do you want to have? That's a really important one, because experiences are so important to us, and what we remember at the end of our lives is not, the things that we had so much as the experiences that we had. And so that's why actually writing down what experiences you want to have is a really important part. And then what you do is when you're going through the worksheet, is you're going to look at all your answers and you're going to write down your key desires that you want to turn into goals. So it might be about travel, it might be about your business, whatever it is, but you pick your key desires that you want to turn into goals that may actually make them happen this year. So that's that section. So that's part one, really, which is about following your heart. And if you want to, just use this video, you could answer those questions and pause the video while you're spending some time breathing into your heart and just asking your heart what it is you truly, truly desire. A really, really important part of this process, so that you know that your goals are linked with your desires, and that will make it so much easier. And ease is one of my words, one of my desires, one of my feelings that I would like to feel. I've had, like a lot of people, a tricky year in 2017, and I forgot that ease is one of my words. So ease is what I'm focusing on this year, among a couple of other things. So moving on to part two of this talk, and in fact part two of the worksheet, we're going to start engaging your brain. And when I talk about your brain, I'm meaning your head brain in terms of the M-braining process. So we're going to start bringing your goals in, getting some logic involved and checking things out to make sure that they will work for you. So Sam, drop me a comment below if you're following so far. I'd love to know how you're, because I'm talking quite a lot and there's a lot to get through. And have a quick sip of tea. Okay, so we're moving on to section 2, engaging your brain. So there's a whole section here where you can write out your desires, the things that you want to turn into goals, and what needs to happen for them to actually be achieved. So I've left a space for 10. 10's enough to be going on with. Once you've achieved some, you can always, add to that. It's making sense. That's great, Sam. Brilliant. Thanks for that. So, so this next section, you take all your desires, all your things that you want to turn into goals, and you write them here, and you start to fill out this bit which says what needs to happen for them to actually become real. What needs to happen? So for instance, if you want to travel more, well, what needs to happen? Maybe you need to decide where you want to go. Maybe you need to start saving some money. Maybe you need to raise some funds. Maybe you need to sell some stuff to get the money together. Maybe you need to start looking at brochures. So what needs to happen for this desire for travel to actually become a reality is a lot of different things. So this is where you list them all out. And then the next question is, what resources do you need to make them happen? And resources can be time or money or energy or coaching or research or support from somebody, like your family, for instance. So what resources do you need to make those desires happen? And now, like I said, I am racing through this because there's only so much we can cover in 20-something minutes. The next question in my worksheet is, where or how can you get these resources? So it's a good idea to actually sit and think about, okay, so what do I know already? Who do I know? Where do I know about that I can get the support that I need, or the how can I get more time? What resource, where or how can you get these resources? So to get more time, you might have to speak to a partner and get them to take on a bit more of the responsibility at home so that you can have the time. You might have to adjust your standards of housework or something, I don't know. But to get more time, there are different ways of doing that. So where or how can you get these resources? Really powerful question. Moving on, the next question is, who might be able to help you? So who do you know already who might have done this, who could help you? Whatever it is you're trying to do. Do you have a friend who's travelled to India or travelled to Bali or wherever it is you're planning to go, who can give you some pointers? So who might be able to help you? Do you know a business coach or a life coach or a marketing coach or somebody who can help you with your stuff, a virtual assistant? No, who can help you? And then how would your desires fit with the other parts of your life? So for instance, if you've got a desire to travel, how does that fit with your family and your partner? You need to look at that stuff, because you can't, well, most of us can't just drop everything and go traveling. So what do you need to consider about the other parts of your life? How does it fit? And there might be some adjustments needed, there might be some compromises, there might be quite a lot of planning involved. And it's always important to think about how, ecologically that fits in with the whole of the rest of your life. So that's section 2 of the worksheet, which is all about engaging your brain and making things happen. So it's actually looking at the practical stuff. Let's get logical. Let's take a step back from all the woo-woo talking to my heart stuff, and let's get logical. Okay, so that's part 2. Part 3 is really, really key, actually, and it's looking at the what ifs, dealing with what ifs. So whenever we're going to do something, we know we can anticipate there might be things that are going to go wrong. And actually, if we plan for those in advance, then we're going to be in a much better place to be able to deal with them if they do come up. So that's what this section's all about. So the first question in section 3 is what might go wrong. So you've got to think about, if I want to travel to India and that's my plan, what might go wrong? Well, there might be problems with the actual traveling part. So, I might want to think about getting some insurance. I might get ill while I'm away. I might run out of money. I don't know, whatever it is. So what might go wrong? So you think about all the things that might go wrong. And later on, we'll talk about what to do with them. And then the second question is, what are your self-sabotage patterns? So what are the things you do, like for instance, procrastinating? What are the things you do that might get in the way? And just make a list of those things. And all of this is not about being negative. It's not about, I just got distracted by Cynthia's comment. I'll read that out in a second. It's not about beating ourselves up and focusing on the negative. We're just actually getting this stuff on paper so that we can do something about it. Because it's there anyway. We need to get it out on paper. So how have you sabotaged yourself in the past? Write those things down, and then you can do something about it. Then in the next part, what fears might get in your way? So you might have a fear of flying, for instance. If you were traveling to India, that might get in the way a little bit. You can't really walk there. And then what other blocks might get in your way? So you might have some of the mental or emotional blocks that might stop you. And a really easy way to get to those is to say to yourself, I can't be, do, or have, whatever it is you're after. I can't travel to India because, and then fill in the blanks. And again, that will help you to bring all that stuff up. And finally, is it finally? Probably not. Oh, it is. Good. Well remembered, Cindy. So finally, what measures, they might be practical, they might be something else. What can you put in place that will either avoid these speed bumps or help you just sail over them without any trouble? And some of the, the practical ones might be like getting travel insurance if you're traveling, and some of the less practical, well, some people might think so, but for the mental and emotional stuff, maybe some daily meditation, some EFT or tapping that I talk about quite a bit over here, self-help books, working with a coach. You could just question your thoughts. That's a really simple one, and just say to yourself, is that true? So planning in advance what you're going to actually do to avoid or deal with these things as they come up. So I promised I'd mention Cynthia's comment. She says, I could listen to you all day. Thank you, Cynthia. That's very kind. Appreciate it. So that's all I was going to cover in today's talk. There are a couple of other sections in there. There's a section about how to actually form your goals, how to write them in a way that's going to be really effective. So there's this section here, which is really useful and that you can use to work through. And at the end, there's the bit about how to put all of that into action, how to actually make the goals happen on a daily basis. And then there's a little special offer there as well for you for a free session. So yes, lots of gifts because we've had Christmas and we've opened all our presents. So I thought, well, let's have some more presents. And if you would like to get hold of this worksheet, I will, of course, be putting the link down in the comments for you so that you can grab it. So before we sort of close things up, Cynthia and Sam, do you have any questions? And if you're watching on the replay, do you have any questions? Please comment below, let me know, and I will quickly answer them for you. And I'll have a sip of tea while that bit happens. By the way, this mug isn't as big as it looks. Well, it's quite big, but it's not really as big as my head. Okay, so no questions it looks like, so that's good. So do please either follow that process with this video, and if you haven't already, go back and watch the 15th of December video, which I will link also in the comments for you for your convenience. And that way you'll be starting off the year in a really, really powerful position and in really well placed to be able to achieve the things you want to achieve, and to feel the way you want to feel, because ultimately that's why we're doing anything at all in our lives. So look out for this in the comments down below, and enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and have a wonderful year achieving your goals and feeling good, because that's what I'm all about. And as per usual, I haven't planned next week's Feel Good Friday. So if you want to join me next week, it's 9:30 here on my channel. It will be something like this. Who knows? I'll think of something brilliant, I'm sure. Just have a quick look at the comments. Cynthia says, thank you and Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year to you, Cynthia. And it's just shy of 4 a.m. in Dallas. Amazing. Well done for joining us. Thank you. And now go to bed. Sam, okay, no questions yet, but just to say this was brilliant and will make goal setting so much easier. Thank you. Oh, brill. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining me live. And if you're watching on the replay, again, do comment below. Do let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, and I will come back and answer them. Look out for the worksheet, and I will speak to you in the next video. Have a fab day. So I hope you enjoyed the video and that you found it useful. You can, of course, use the video to answer those questions as you go along, and pause it while you're doing the work. But like I said in the live one you just watched, there are some bits at the end of here that aren't included in the talk because I ran out of time, and there's only so much you can do in 20 minutes. So if you do want to get your hands on this, like I said, it's 9 pages. There's a lot in here. It's very comprehensive. So head over to the link, which I'll put in the description box down there, and you can grab your hands on this. That's not right. You can grab this for free. All you need to do is put in your email address, click sign me up or whatever the button says, and you will get this. And the other thing is you'll also get an email from me about once a week or so, which will quite often include a replay of Feel Good Friday from YouTube, this thing that you're watching right now, but also some of my vlogs and other things and some written stuff. So it's called the Feel Good Mail, and you'll get that as part of gaining this. If you don't want that, then just unsubscribe after you have got your hands on this. So that's everything for this week. As I said, I don't know what I'm talking about next week, but I will do by the time Friday comes around. So if you're into that, then come along and join me live and join in the conversation and chat with me. And if not, then I will see you here on YouTube in the next video. Have a fab day.